Dan and Demetria, coverage you can count on.
Massacre. Spain's worst terrorist attack. Bombings at 3 train stations. An estimated 200 killed. Who did this? Was it Al-Qaeda? Terror target. A young American lawyer killed doing what she loved, raising hopes for women in the new Iraq. Dumpster divers. Wait until you see what some thieves do to trash your identity and steal your good name. And a soldier story. Sergeant Weaver. We have followed him on the battlefield and his family on the home front. How war has changed their lives 1 year later.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. Spain, a partner of the United States in the Iraq War, was hit by a massive and deadly terrorist attack today, killing more than 190 people, wounding more than 1,000 in Madrid, the Spanish capital. What is not known for sure tonight, who's responsible? We have our terrorism task force working on that. Spain has had attacks before, but nothing of this magnitude. A series of explosions erupted on 3 trains at the height of the morning rush hour. Spanish officials called it a massacre. First the attack, then the vexing question of who is responsible, Al-Qaeda or the militant Basque separatist movement in Spain. We're covering all the angles tonight. We begin with NBC's Donna Friesen in Madrid. Donna?
Tom, for the people of Spain, tonight is the beginning of 3 days of official mourning. Today's attack is, for this country, the equivalent of America's September 11th.
Today in Spain, life changed in an instant. At 7:39 a.m., 13 bombs, one after another, exploded in less than 20 minutes, ripping through packed commuter trains during the height of rush hour. Police say some bombs were placed in backpacks on board the trains, others hidden on the train tracks. Another 2 were defused by police. They were set to go off as rescue workers arrived. I saw bodies all over the place, this man says, an entire carriage of people screaming and crying. Rescue workers who arrived within minutes found victims covered in blood, their bodies pierced from flying shrapnel and glass. Everyone started running, this woman says. They were covered in blood. It was horrendous. Those who could scrambled to safety. The most badly wounded were treated on the tracks. Doctors set up makeshift field clinics in nearby buildings. For some, though, it was too late. All that could be done was a prayer. The city ran out of ambulances. At Madrid's main hospital, frantic families searched for news of their relatives. Volunteers lined streets to donate blood, while hearses left to collect the dead. Who was behind today's violence? The Spanish government initially pointed the finger at ETA, a Basque separatist group which in a 30-year campaign for independence has killed over 800 people. Investigators in today's bombing found titadine, a type of dynamite ETA normally uses. Spain's prime minister called today's attack mass murder. The criminals who have today caused so many deaths will be arrested, judged, found guilty, and sentenced by the courts, he said. But terrorist experts question whether ETA is sophisticated enough to carry out such an ambitious attack. Throughout Spain, flags are at half-staff, and there are prayer vigils in many town squares, as a country used to living with the threat of terror confronts what many here are calling a massacre.
Tonight, Spain's interior minister said the government will broaden its investigation after a van was found in the neighborhood where the bomb trains originated. The van contained detonators and an audio tape of Quranic verses. Tom?
Thanks very much, NBC. Donna Friesen tonight in Madrid. Now to that question of who is responsible. As we just heard, the immediate suspicion was the Basque separatist movement, which has been terrorizing Spain for years, demanding sovereign territory. But there are other telltale signs tonight of possible Al-Qaeda or other radical Islamic groups. NBC's chief foreign affairs correspondent, Andrea Mitchell, is covering that.
The question tonight for American and Spanish intelligence, how likely is it that a homegrown separatist movement could have committed such a well-coordinated attack of this scale? In all of last year, ETA killed 3 people, typically bombing tourist hotels and targeting politicians, but never such a massive attack using multiple bombs simultaneously. with no warning against civilians, all hallmarks of al-Qaeda. Too sophisticated an operation for such a small terror group.
They have perhaps about 6 to 10 operational cells. Now, each cell has about 4 members. So the active membership is only around 30, 40, or 50 people.
In fact, before today, the State Department praised Spain's counterterrorism efforts for, quote, hampering the group's operational capabilities. There's another reason American intelligence officials suspect al-Qaeda.
This is just killing lots of people for the sake of stacking up the bodies, and that is something that al-Qaeda has done. It is not something that ETA has done.
A third reason, Spain is a strong U.S. ally against Iraq, making it a top al-Qaeda target. 5 months ago, Osama bin Laden said, "We reserve our right to strike at the suitable time and place against all countries participating in this war," and among others singled out Britain and Spain. Al-Qaeda has had an active base in Spain for years. The alleged coordinator of 9/11 met with Mohammed Atta, the lead hijacker, in Spain, 2 months before the attacks. And in the past few months, Al-Qaeda has dramatically escalated the tempo of its attacks. Today's atrocity makes March the bloodiest month since 9/11.
This is a nightmare scenario. Major metropolitan areas struck, multiple targets, high levels of devastation and carnage.
And finally, there's that van with detonators and an Arabic tape found just outside Madrid. Homeland Security officials say there have been no warnings against the U.S. But tonight, New York's mayor has increased security at trains and subways as a precaution. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News, Washington.
And in Iraq, on a day when 2 more U.S. soldiers were killed by a roadside bomb, there's also new concern about civilians as terrorist targets. Today, word that it's happened again. 2 Iraqi sisters working as laundry women for U.S. contractors were killed on their way home from work. And authorities in Iraq still are trying to figure out who ambushed and killed 2 Americans and an Iraqi translator yesterday south of Baghdad. They were the first civilian employees of the U.S.-led coalition to be killed. One of them was an Oklahoma woman who is being remembered tonight as a pioneer in the struggle for women's rights in the new Iraq. And NBC's James Hattori has her story.
A muddy road 70 miles south of Baghdad led to the end of one woman's personal drive for equal treatment of all Iraqi women. This is where 33-year-old Fern Holland and 2 colleagues were killed Tuesday evening, either by gunmen posing as police or rogue Iraqi officers. But Holland's work empowering Iraqi women survived.
She can be proud, her family can be very proud, because Fern Holland did something in Iraq.
Holland, a 33-year-old former lawyer from Oklahoma, joined the Peace Corps 4 years ago, volunteering in Africa, and was drawn to Iraq after the war.
It gave Fern the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of literally millions of people. And that is what she was born to do.
She first worked for the U.S. aid agency, planning women's centers like this one in Hilla,
where women can meet and network and talk about their roles in democracy.
Holland, friends say, was a driven, tireless advocate investigating human rights abuses, organizing women's conferences.
She wants to help the women. She wants to train the women of Iraq. She wants to comfort them.
Military officials say Holland and her 2 co-workers were driving an unescorted vehicle when they were attacked.
Her personal safety was always secondary. She was very determined.
Coalition officials are calling the attack a targeted act of terrorism. Administrator Paul Bremer has asked the FBI to investigate. Colleagues say Holland was a passionate believer in freedom who once wrote to a friend, "If I die, know that I'm doing precisely what I want to be doing." James Hattori, NBC News, Baghdad.
Meanwhile, back in this country, an American woman is being accused tonight of conspiring to act as an agent for Saddam Hussein's intelligence service. Susan Lindauer, who describes herself as an anti-war activist, is a former journalist. She's also the second cousin of White House Chief of Staff Andy Card. She was arrested today at her home outside of Washington, D.C. Prosecutors say she went to Baghdad and then returned to the United States on Iraq's behalf to try to persuade administration officials not to go to war. For her part, she says she is innocent. Things are moving swiftly again tonight in the fight in this country over marriage rights for same-sex couples. In California, the state's highest court has ordered an immediate halt to gay marriages, at least for now, until there is a final determination about whether those kinds of marriages are legal. And in Massachusetts, with just 2 months to go before the state must obey its own court order to issue marriage licenses to gay couples, legislators have given preliminary approval to a new constitutional amendment that would outlaw same-sex marriages but allow civil unions. What's the difference between a marriage and a civil union? More on that tonight from NBC's Justice Department correspondent Pete Williams.
In San Francisco, a spark became a wildfire.
I now pronounce you spouses for life.
More than 3,700 same-sex marriages before today's court order. 1,700 more in Oregon, still others in New York, New Jersey, and New Mexico. But why marriage? Aren't civil unions enough? Nina Beck and Stacey Jollis have one in Vermont, the only state offering them.
A civil union for us is a legal contract to protect our family and to protect our children.
Under state law, at least, they have the same legal protections as married couples, from property and adoption rights to making medical decisions for each other. But the federal government does not recognize their civil union. That means no protection under more than 1,100 laws covering married couples, from Social Security benefits and family leave rights to Medicare and food stamps. And if they ever move, few states would recognize their civil union. In Massachusetts, where fully legal same-sex marriages begin this spring, Gary Chalmers and Richard Linnell will get married and have full state marriage benefits, but again, no federal recognition because of the 1996 Defense of Marriage Act. So why the push for marriage at all? Gary and Rich say they want its familiarity for their daughter.
There's no explanation needed with the word marriage. Paige deserves the right to be able to say her parents are married and not have to explain our relationship to anyone else.
And legal experts say a same-sex couple that's married would be on much firmer legal footing. If they move and their marriage isn't recognized, they could claim that their new state is unfairly discriminating.
It naturally says the question, how come you let any other out-of-state marriage come in, but you won't let this one come in? And I think states are going to have a hard time answering that question.
It's a point experts on both sides of the issue agree on. Marriage provides a big legal advantage over civil unions. Pete Williams, NBC News, Washington.
In Washington on Capitol Hill today, the House passed a bill that would slap sharply higher fines on television and radio broadcasters who violate indecency limits. Whether they'll be actually imposed still is very much up in the air, however. There are major differences with the Senate versions of the bill, and at least one administration official and several lawmakers are questioning whether the bill violates free speech rights. And there's punishment tonight for the hockey hitman that shocked even hardcore NHL fans. Vancouver Canucks all-star Todd Bertuzzi was suspended for the remainder of the season and the playoffs. His team was fined $250,000 for blindsiding Colorado's Steve Moore, leaving him with a broken neck and deep cuts on his face. Bertuzzi's punishment could continue into next season, depending on Moore's continuing condition. Up next, NBC News in Depth tonight. A convicted identity thief shows you how you can become a victim. It'll make you think twice about what you throw away. And later, a soldier's journey to Iraq and back home. Even coming back home isn't easy.
Hidden Valley Ranch is coming to Kansas City, asking folks, how should ranch dressing taste?
A wonderful array of spices. You can tell by looking at it that it's the Hidden Valley.
Classic.
Kind of hard to improve on the original, isn't it?
Hidden Valley Ranch dressing. We made it first, we made it right.
If you're not eating Hidden Valley, you're not eating ranch dressing.
It's supposed to taste like this.
Hidden Valley Ranch, the way ranch is supposed to taste. And 1 gram of carbs never tasted like this.
Honey, I'm home. You didn't start yet? You can watch upstairs.
Cheese it. Get your own box.
Exercise, eating right, and now a new Minute Maid orange juice with added cholesterol reducers proven to help lower cholesterol. Only new Minute Maid Heartwise. Your heart will thank you.
You better get some sleep.
Okay, Mom.
Here, honey, take this. You'll feel better and sleep better. Need more tissues? Sleep like... That doesn't sound good. Sleep like you did before your mother moved in.
I'll take it.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, best sleep you ever got with a cold medicine. Now try new and improved liquid caps.
Now's a great time to try Imitrex because now you can get your first full prescription free. Call 1-800-IMITREX or visit Imitrex.com. Ask your doctor about Imitrex and get your first full prescription for free.
Got gas, pressure, bloating? Tums doesn't treat gas, neither does Pepto-Bismol. To treat gas, use Gas-X for fast, powerful relief.
Popcorn?
Gas-X beats the bloat, and acids don't.
Friday, one great show, 2 big interviews, 2 Dateline exclusives. Ben Affleck plus Liza Minnelli and Lorna Luft. Dateline Friday, 8/7 Central on NBC.
NBC News in depth tonight. Inside the crime that can leave your financial life in ruins. Identity theft. By all accounts, one of the fastest growing crimes in this country. Tonight, a master thief who has been there and done that talks trash with NBC's Fred Francis.
Carrie Melton is no bag lady. In fact, she's a pioneer of sorts who 4 years ago led a gang of thieves to pick apart lives from recycled paper.
They were very effective, victimized far more people than we were able to identify, and perhaps obtained well over $1 million in profits.
Melton and other identity thieves now literally pick through garbage. A recycling station like this can contain bank records, old medical reports, and tax returns. Garbage to most, a treasure trove for them.
And I remember filling this out, thinking to myself, you know, wow, if this actually works, this is crazy.
Oh, it worked. In their first dumpster dive, Melton's gang got the records of some of Eugene, Oregon's most wealthy with their social security numbers.
The social security number is the key to creating new credit for you that you don't know that you have.
With that number, Melton went online to companies offering instant credit. She got credit cards in the victims' names and an extra one in her name. What's the most number of credit cards you had in your pocket at one time?
Probably about 150.
150 credit cards at one time?
Yeah, and I try to only stay with the platinum and up, so yeah, 150 of platinum and up.
She went on trips to Las Vegas, Mexico, bought Rolex watches and cars. But like most thieves, Melton got greedy. 4 years ago, Detective Steve Williams caught her.
She had just checked into a hotel using a credit card in the name Bruce Voice, and it said, I think it said Melton Incorporated on it.
Melton served 15 months in prison. Some of the evidence, receipts using victim Bruce Voice's credit. Today she's a college student studying computers. One of her first professors, to the initial dismay of them both,
how you doing?
All right, how are you?
The real Bruce Voice.
And then she asked me, are there any hard feelings? And as I recall, I said, well, yeah, there's still some hard feelings.
I did, you know, explain to him that I was sorry.
It cost me 0 cash. Huge aggravation, even today. I still have not got a result.
Melton says she's gone straight.
This is good that they shredded this too.
The lesson she now preaches? Shred your personal papers because it's all gold to dumpster divers. Fred Francis, NBC News, Eugene, Oregon.
For additional tips on how to protect your identity and what to do if it is stolen, we invite you to log on to our website, which is msnbc.com. Up next, notes from an increasingly bitter campaign trail.
Allergy congestion keeping you awake? Try Breathe Right nasal strips. They gently lift open nasal passages for instant drug-free relief from allergy congestion, so you can sleep. Breathe better, feel better with Breathe Right.
If you want to get a jump on the day, you better get started the night before. Tylenol PM stops your pain and eases you into a restful night's sleep, so you wake up refreshed. Safe, non-habit-forming Tylenol PM.
Consider all the ways you help protect yourself. And if you've had a heart attack, ask your doctor if you're doing enough to help protect your heart. The Heart Protection Study by Oxford University researched Zocor. Zocor, along with diet, is the only cholesterol medication proven to significantly reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke in people with heart disease, regardless of cholesterol level. Zocor is a prescription medicine and is not for everyone, including women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant, or people with liver problems. Your doctor may do blood tests to check for liver problems. Because serious side effects can result, tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience and about any medicines you are taking. If you've had a heart attack, get information about the Heart Protection Study and Zocor and ask your doctor how Zocor can help protect you. It's your future. Be there.
It's different for people with acid reflux disease because you know the heartburn's gonna nail you. And over time, all that acid could rip at your esophagus. Next time, Nexium, the healing purple pill. For many, one prescription Nexium daily not only gets rid of heartburn, more importantly, it also heals acid reflux erosions. And healing is such a great feeling. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. Talk to your doctor. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Don't let acid reflux eat at you. Next time, ask your doctor about Nexium.
I'll take that.
Because healing is such a great feeling.
A Today Show exclusive. Explosive evidence in the Michael Jackson case. The accuser's own words revealed for the first time. Tomorrow on Today.
Time now for some notes from the campaign trail. Senator John Kerry taking heat from Republicans for comments he made yesterday. Today lit into what he called Republican attack squads specializing in trying to destroy people. Yesterday, a wireless mic that Kerry was wearing picked up his comment that his opponents are, quote, the most crooked, lying group I have ever seen. And Kerry won't take that back.
I have no intention whatsoever of apologizing for my remarks. I think the Republicans need to start talking about the real issues before the country.
And the Bush-Cheney campaign is out tonight with its first ad attacking Kerry by name. The new ad, which will begin airing tomorrow in 18 battleground states, calls Kerry, quote, wrong on taxes, wrong on defense. A radio version of the ad will also run in select markets. The president today also shrugged off critics who complain that he's politicizing the September 11th attacks. Appearing today at a groundbreaking for a 9/11 memorial in suburban New York, the Bush campaign is using an image of the World Trade Center in another television ad. Spokesmen say that ad will not be pulled. And a Nebraska businessman the Bush administration had settled on to be the country's new manufacturing czar withdrew his name from consideration tonight. This after Democrats circulated news reports that his company laid off 75 workers 4 months after announcing plans to build a factory in China. Anthony Raimondo would have been the first nominee to position of Secretary of Commerce, Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Manufacturing and Services, a post the president is creating to help deal with U.S. factory job losses. And on Wall Street today, more steep losses. The Dow was down more than 168 points. NASDAQ lost more than 20 points on the day. I'll be right back.
Do you ever go skinny dipping?
No.
Do you ever date younger men?
No.
Do you ever lie about your age?
No, I'm only 28.
Fool even your toughest critics. Olay Total Effects 7X has the power to fight 7 signs of aging. It also moisturizes better than these major department store brands. 7X. Fight signs of aging while you cleanse with Total Effects wet cloths.
I've made some big calls in front of loud crowds and menacing linemen. I also made the call to go see my doctor and ask about Prevacid.
Call now for a 7-day free trial certificate and ask your doctor if prescription Prevacid is right for you.
I'm worried that there are things that are going to burn me.
I had butterflies. I was anxious.
Open house, that's somebody else's job.
I had to constantly be meeting people.
My mom was always on the phone.
A lot of confusing terms.
Appraisals.
I figured I could sell it on my own to save a little bit of money.
She was just wacko.
I don't even know enough to know that I don't know.
If you're thinking about selling your home, you need some help. Ask your agent if they're a realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors.
For sale by owner, but not by this owner.
Oh. What did the doctor say?
He said the best thing for my arthritis pain is to keep moving my knee throughout the day.
But it hurts when you move.
I know, but the doctor said I should take a leave.
But we've always taken Tylenol.
Well, Tylenol can wear off in the middle of the day. Aleve can work all day, so I can keep moving.
Doctors know Aleve has the strength to relieve arthritis pain for up to 12 hours.
That Aleve's got you moving again.
All day without pain. Do you know how good that feels?
Aleve.
Everyone's looking for that miracle cream. Mine's Excellence Hair Color from L'Oreal. My non-drip color protects non-stop with lots of conditioner for beautiful color and no grays. Excellence Cream from L'Oreal Paris, because you're worth it.
Ah, a new day. And what better way to start it than with one of your favorite breakfasts? The original and best.
Surprise! New Kellogg's Corn Flakes with real banana cereal. The corn flakes you love. Now with pieces of sweet, ripe bananas right in the box. You'll go bananas.
Tonight at 6 on Channel 4 News.
What insiders say about Bud Adams' $10 million offer for the land the Sounds plan to build on.
Need some help with your taxes? We have free tax advice tonight.
Plus, can you really get rid of warts with duct tape?
Tonight at 6 on Channel 4 News. Coverage you can count on.
Tonight we continue our series on the war in Iraq 1 year later. In so many ways, it remains a war without end, on the ground and in the hearts and minds of the men and women fighting it and their families. Some we've gotten to know personally. Tonight, once again, the story of Sergeant Charles Weaver of the 3rd Infantry Division. One man, two families. Sergeant Charles Weaver led one family of young soldiers across Iraq before bringing most of them home to Fort Stewart, Georgia. While his other family, wife Dawn and two children, fought their own war on the home front, praying for a safe return.
At ease.
A platoon sergeant in the 3rd Infantry Mortar Brigade, Weaver's training continues far away from the front lines, although his days and his journey have not been easy.
I know I'm going home at night, and I know I'm going to make it through another day.
We watched them say goodbye in November 2002.
I love you. Okay.
In Kuwait, a few months later, one last chance to see his kids before the war begins. I want you to take a look at some friends of mine.
Hi, Daddy.
Then, last July, battle-worn and tested, we found Sergeant Weaver on patrol north of Baghdad. Turning in his Humvee for a pickup, he's back home in Georgia at last, a changed man.
G.I. Joe has left. He's now more, okay, I've done that. I saw what happened. And I think some of his attitudes and perspectives have changed.
There's a new puppy. His son is now talking. His daughter has shed her training wheels. Weaver says he appreciates home so much more.
I have that, like a feeling of guilt, because I know that I came home to my daughter and my son and my wife. And, but there's other people that didn't.
The images of war are burned in his memory, especially the face of one soldier Weaver couldn't bring home, 20-year-old Joel Bertoldi, killed in combat on the way to Baghdad.
Every day we pass by, on my way to work, there's a place that they call Warriors Walk. And so every day I remember.
He returned home with a persistent back pain and says it's sometimes tough to turn off his sergeant's temper when he's at home. And when he first returned, he needed solitude.
He didn't get any time to himself at all. And I think there were a couple of times where he had to say, Dawn, I need some space, please.
1 year later, the Weavers know they're the lucky ones.
I honestly want people to remember that what these kids sacrificed and that what they did it for was for the greater good, no matter what anybody thinks.
For Dawn, she hopes her war scrapbook is filled up for good, but she's not holding her breath.
This is our life and this is what we live. There's always a chance they're getting ready to go again.
1 year later, a soldier's story continues. Sergeant Weaver expects that he will be called back to Iraq, but he doesn't know when. That's Nightly News for this Thursday. I'm Tom Brokaw. I'll see you back here tomorrow night.
Tonight, a member of the Sunquist administration indicted for fraud and bribery. A Hendersonville couple is found dead in their home. Think you can spot police before they spot you? It's about to change in the name of a speed crackdown. What does the mayor think about Bud Adams' $10 million offer? Plus, some free help on your taxes.
Middle Tennessee's #1 news starts right now.
Good evening. Welcome to Channel 4 News at 6.
Tonight, a federal grand jury has indicted a former Labor Department employee for awarding state contracts to friends of former Governor Don Sundquist. Channel 4's Darian Trotter is following this developing story and joins us now live from the newsroom with details. Darian?
Dan, Joanna Ediger was indicted today on 4 charges. We have the indictment and we have the charges listed for you. We want to show them to you now. They are mail fraud, wire fraud, bribery, and making false statements to investigators. The grand jury is exploring the possibility that the former director of grants for the Labor Department awarded state contracts to friends of former Tennessee Governor Don Sundquist.